Hannah Rose Thomas is a 23-year-old artist who paints alongside studying history and Arabic at Durham University. In March 2015, Hannah held an art exhibition in Durham Castle. The focus of this exhibition was Hannah's portraits of Syrian refugees she met while living in Jordan last year. While living in Amman, Hannah worked for 3 months for UNHCR, organising art projects with Syrian refugees. Hannah chose recycled UNHCR tents as a medium for the art project. The goal was to turn these symbols of loss and displacement into beautiful pieces of artwork in order to raise awareness for the plight of refugees.
Because art has a potential to have such a power for healing the trauma. And for these children, the refugee children, all that they've experienced in Syria, and also the older refugees who are involved, I think the chance to be involved in a project and to be able to express themselves in this way, knowing that there is going to be exhibited all across the world, is really powerful. And lots of kids got involved, and adults as well. And Syrian women took, in their burqas, took off their shoes and got involved as well. And it was just an amazing. It was all painted outside in this refugee centre in Erbil, and it was just an absolutely special experience getting it painted with them. The theme of this one was hope. And so that I asked the kids to paint on the tent their hopes and their dreams for the future. And the most common theme I found, which was deeply, gosh, it was just the most common theme that was the theme of a home, that the kids painted their homes, and they just to express their longing to return to Syria. And even some of the kids would say painted their garden and picking fruit with their grandparents in the garden, and how they just longed to be able to return to their home and just do things normal, like playing with their friends again. So this Syrian woman I met just outside Zenia refugee camp in northern Jordan. So Zenia refugee camp is home to 80,000 Syrian refugees, and I was so struck by her eyes in particular. Just they were piercing, and it just made me feel they just struck me to my heart, because I just felt I can't even begin to imagine what you've seen and what you've been through in the war in Syria.
I think the thing that I love the most about the whole thing is that there are young people and children who are living in a refugee camp in Jordan, and it is quite unknown and quite far away, and there are so many people that live in the camp, and they painted some tents that are now being exhibited like all around the world, and in castles and outside cathedrals, and in the centre of London. And I just think it's amazing how much that's kind of voice giving people who don't really have a voice, and whose names we'd probably never know, who are now exhibiting their artwork around the world.
And the tent was all laid out on the floor, and the kids just had so much paint everywhere that they were just painting one another and painting me, and just falling over into the paint, and the whole room was just a complete chaos. I got into quite a bit of trouble by the refugee centre, because there was just paint everywhere, but it was all worth it just to see their smiles on their faces, and they clearly were just having the most wonderful time, and just like their laughter and everything, and it just was an absolute joy to be able to be part of it in spite of